Hello everyone, welcome back to the React Basics learning series. Uh, as part of the previous lecture, we were able to cover till the styling fix, and the agenda for this lecture is to cover the dynamic rendering for the to-do list, and we will design the component for we will design the UI for completed task list as well. So going back to the mockup, so we were able to design this part, and as part of the current lecture we are going to design the to-do list and the completed task list. But the data would be, the list will be static at this point. We are not going to add the functionality related to adding new to-do tasks. So for now we will keep some static data, and based on that we will render the list. So let's head over to the code. uh, so I'm back to the VS Code. So let's continue with the remaining parts. So here, as you can see, we have to do items, and we have a add task wrapper. Then within that we have input and button. So all this is related to creating a new to do task. And then we are going to have a different section where we will be adding, like we will have a list of to do items. So for that we will be creating a separate div. So let's go to the, so this particular div is ending here. Now here let's add a new div and give it a class name. I will give the class name as list item, and within the list item we will have the item content. So let's create one more div and give it a class name. This is item content. C should be camel case. Okay. And within this we are going to have um, some description for the to do. So let's give a static description for now. So learning React C basics. So this is one of the to do tasks. For now this operator is not required because we have kept it as a static string. So that is like about adding how you can uh, like design one particular item. Okay, so let's see how it looks now. So I will start the application. It will automatically open. Meanwhile, like we can add some stylings related to our list item. So for list item, I'm using class list item, and for this class I will be adding styles like border. So border here is inherit. I'm using inherit because I want to use same list item for the completed and to do task, but the color would be different for the borders for completed and to do task. For to do we are going to use blue color. So as you can see, the border for to do items is blue. So ideally the same border would be inherited here as well for the list item, and then we are going to give some padding. This padding is let's say 10 pixel, and we have a margin of 5 pixel. Border radius that is to ensure that the edges of mm, the list item is smooth. So let's give it 5 pixel, and then we have display flex and align items center. just to ensure that whatever content we are adding is center aligned. So that was about list item. Let's go to the browser and see. So this is how our list item looks like. So we have learning React basics, and then as you can see there is a border around it. Now let's move on to the completed task part. So we have added a list item for to do task. Now similarly we need to create a different section where we will be adding the completed tasks, right? So let's work on that. So we have list item here, then we have the add task wrapper, and we have to do items. Now parallel to do items we are going to have the completed items. So let's add a new div. In this div we are giving class name as completed items, and we'll close this div. Once you are done with this, you can add a header here. So that header will be called as completed tasks. Okay, so this is the completed task. As we have to do task, similarly we have created a completed task, and within the completed task we are going to have multiple completed tasks, so all those tasks will come here. So let me add one task for now, which is a static task, and give it a class name. The class name for completed task is again like is list item, because this is essentially a list item only. uh, and we can add some static content here. So let's say I can add running as a completed task, or let's call it morning walk. So this is one of the completed task. Now as you can see, like I'm not building the feature like the actions so far, because I want to build the layout completely, and then we can go to the actions part, so that like logically you can learn these two things separately. Now for the completed items we need to add some CSS to make sure it looks nicer on the UI. So let's add a CSS for completed items class. So I have added completed items, then within completed items we are going to have some border. So let's give border as 2 pixel solid light green, and we are going to have a border radius again as 5 pixel for this as well. We are going to have height, again this is the max content similar to what we have for the to do list, and we can give some padding. Again this padding is also 20 pixel, and then we have min width. So min width I want to give exactly similar to what we gave for to do list, so let's give it 400 pixels so that it looks consistent. Now once I save it and go back to the browser, as you can see we have to do tasks section, and we have completed tasks. In the completed task we have morning walk, and in the to do we have learning React basics. The next section that we want to work on is the next item that we want to work on is making the dynamic rendering of the to do list. So at this point, like we are done with the layout design. Let's quickly create some variables to store the to do items and to do tasks and completed tasks. So I will create two constants. First is called to do items. So here let this is a array, and within the array we can add the, so this is where we added a task. So let's copy this task from here and add it in the to do item. Now let's add one more task here. So go to gym. So this is my second task, and I can add multiple such tasks. Okay. Now let's add completed items. So it could be called as to do items and completed items, or even you can call it as, let me change the name. So for multi selection you can use control D if you're not aware. Here let me change it to task. So here in the completed task I will add like play cricket, and the second task is watch movie. So these two are like completed task. Now the next thing that we are gonna do is like wire these constants to the UI that we have designed, and this is where like the actual JSX comes into picture. So basically we want to render the content dynamically in this case. So this list items would get rendered repeatedly based on how many tasks we have in the to do task list. Similarly for the completed task as well, we want to render this particular section dynamically based on how many tasks we have in the completed task list, right? So for both of them we have two different places, and we are going to render the UI dynamically based on the size of the to do task and completed task list. If you are not very familiar with the array concept in the JavaScript, you can comment in the video, and I will create a separate series on the JavaScript basics, so that it will be helpful for you. As part of this course, I assume like you guys are aware about the CSS and JavaScript basics. Okay, so let's move on to the to do items section, and here in the list item we want to do some magic. So let's uh, this is called interpolation, and here you can what you can do is you can use so this is what we use in JSX for rendering UI dynamically. And now we have a to do task list, so let's put it here, to do task dot, you need to use you can use map. uh, so basically it will return a list of items as per this list. So whatever items are there corresponding to each item, there will be again an entry, and that will be returned back. If you want to learn more about JavaScript map, you can go back and read about it, or you can, if you want me to create a video, just comment and I will create a video for just for explaining what JavaScript map is. Now within the map, like we have two different parameters. So one is like the item that we get, and we have index. So here we are going to return the UI. So let's go back and copy this entire list item UI and paste it here in the within the return. Now as you can see, we have copy pasted everything, but this part is still a static. So let's change it and make it dynamic using, it should be based on the item. So item, or let's call it as task only. Sorry, so we have task. So here again, when we are rendering some element dynamically and it is in a repeated loop, in that case React best practice is you should be adding a key here. So let's add a key. uh, this is helpful in optimizing the DOM re-renders. So let's put the task. I assume the task is unique for now, and I'm adding that as a key here. Similarly for the completed task as well, here because we are not using index, let's get rid of the index. Now similarly for the completed task as well, we need to create a loop. So let's put completed task dot map, and within the map you have task, and from that task we need to create this UI and return it back so that it gets rendered dynamically. So let's copy this entire UI code and paste it here. Now this is something we need to get rid of and replace it with the dynamic task string that we are getting. So that's about it. Let's go to the browser and see. As you can see, we are getting all the tasks rendered in order. So we have first as React learning React basics, second is go to gym, take bath, and similarly for completed task as well. That's all about this video. I hope you guys are liking the overall series, and if you are liking, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.